back and I'll show you.
Hello there, this is John with Yard to Table Appalachian Homestead, and we have a very interesting video today for you all. I'd like to welcome you to this episode and welcome you to the Appalachian Homestead. And we're going to be talking today about some no-till gardening and pumpkins. And as you can see right here, I have quite a bit of soil laid out down through here. I'm going to make me another strip. This is going to be a no-till pumpkin patch where I'm going to put soil on top of the native soil and put my seeds in there and grow them. Yes, I know it's the second week of June, or no, July now, and it's maybe a little late to plant seeds right now, but I already planted some seeds a few weeks ago. So pumpkins have anywhere from 75 to 105 day maturity date on them. So July, August, September, the 1st of October, we should have quite a few miniature pumpkins down through here. Now, I'm not doing the jack-o'-lanterns and all that, but we're gonna do some squash, some gourds, and some things. And we're gonna talk about the no-till, and I'm gonna show you that it does work because I did it in the backyard. But this setup this time is gonna be completely different because I learned in the backyard some things I did not like on that setup. It has worked very well, but it's been very hard to deal with the weeds and very hard to deal with watering it, and I'm going to tell you why today. And then I'm going to drop all this soil and put it out, which I'll put that in fast forward for you. But I'm going to go down through here and drop all this soil in, and then hopefully we'll get some pumpkins planted later this evening. But let's go over here and let me show you a few of the things that I started out with earlier this year, seeing how they would do. And now that I'm learning more about them, next year we're going to be doing a little bit different on our seeds. Right here we have some really nice ornamental miniature gourds, and they're coming to the end of their life cycle. These will mature. Most of your cupric family items, which is things that are gourds, pumpkins, cucumbers, most things that make these big sticky leaves that are kind of piney are in the same family. They're kind of cousins. All right, let's look at these little miniature gourds here. Ain't they cute? I wish I knew what these were when I planted them, and we're going to talk about mixed packs of seeds that I ordered, and I was not familiar with anything this year. This is my very first garden. 3-4 months ago, there was nothing here but grass. So I've learned a lot in the last 3 or 4 months. So when I buy those mixed packs of gourd seeds or ornamental pumpkin seeds and gourd seeds, and they're mixed together, it's like Christmas. You don't know what's going to come up when you plant it. So next year I'll definitely know enough this year that I'm going to get specifically that particular gourd or pumpkin or squash, because the things that are being mixed or hybridized, you never know what you're going to get. You don't get a true same pumpkin the next year or squash, because this gourd over here might have got pollinated with this gourd over here, and it gives you a completely different gourd next year. So using the seeds that I've grown this year, absolutely not, because all of my pumpkins, gourds, and squash are probably going to be pollinized, and then next year I have no idea what I'm going to get. This year I had a problem with, I wanted to make sure that I could get these vines, the items that had vining stuff on them like these pumpkins. Now I've done cut the leaves off these little miniature pumpkins, and they have done very well. We got 20 off that one vine. So they come to the end of their life cycle, but this is what made me want to go ahead and do more of these, to make more of these pumpkins, because once these come up and I saw how cute they were, I said, I did a little figuring, is it too late to plant pumpkins this year? And no, it wasn't. It was not too late. The 1st of July is actually fine, like I'm talking about. 3 months is all you need, and then you're going to start at the end of September, 1st October. I'm going to have miniature pumpkins, and I'm not for sure exactly how long they last or good for out here, but look at these cantaloupes growing here. We got one here, we got one back here, and I don't know, we might have another one up here somewhere, don't we, Dustin? Oh, right there. Yeah. And that one, need to put a little straw underneath that right there. There's one of my clips I use to clip them with. I do train these to come up through here with these little clips to get them to climb. Now, I did not know this was a cantaloupe, but I did plant that cantaloupe. All of my stuff this year kind of got mixed around, and I didn't keep up with the tags how I did plant things, but that was a cantaloupe seed. But the biggest surprise has been that mixed gourd pack, and yeah, I wasn't real happy with that. So okay, let's look at this situation right here, and then we're going to look at the back in a minute, and I'm going to show you what I've already grown so you can see, has he been able to actually grow anything his first year in a no-till situation. And there'll be a video coming up before long, raised bed, container, and no-till garden. I've done all three, and I'll tell you the advantages and disadvantages that I found in all three of those. That's another video. This one's about getting these pumpkins planted. And if you look right here, down the middle of these, I put some contractor's paper to help kill out the grass a little bit better. And that'll be very easy for these roots to go into the native soil. On each side of it here, I do have 4 foot of landscaping fabric, and really it's better for the pumpkins to not be on it for 2 reasons. One, the heat is not good, and 2, they can't root. Pumpkins will vine and root into the ground, so this keeps them from rooting into the ground. But if you've ever seen many pumpkin patches, you know they're nothing but a weed pile. Because once they start spreading, you can't weed eat and mow in them, and weeds are everywhere, and it's just crazy. So I don't want all that going on in my yard this year. This is my front yard, and this is an ornamental garden also, not just a garden to eat from, but a garden to do ornamental pumpkins and to make it something that you would enjoy looking at. So I'm trying to keep things neat and clean and not have a whole huge amount of little. Angel's over there having her little fit. She's having a good day today. What are you doing, Angel? Well, guess she fell back to sleep for a nap. All right, so there's 150 bags of topsoil. Now, this is not garden soil or potting soil. It is topsoil, and I'm going to show you some of it right here. It is a little woodsy. It's got a little bit of earthy products in it, but I have never grew in this, so I took a chance and ordered 280 bags of it. I was going to do 2 rows of pumpkins, and then I had some issues with some of the pumpkins turning out to be gourds that I did not want. So we have never grew with this type soil, but I don't really think it matters on the soil. It matters on how you amend that soil with different things. So then we have 150 bags just right down through here. Then we have 100 bags of compost and manure. I'm going to put that on the bottom, and then I'm going to dump the soil on top, and then we're going to put in some Espoma garden tone on everything down through here. Hopefully, if I'm still alive once I dump these 200, there's 150 soil, 100 manure, 250 bags I need to dump, and yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like after that. If you don't see me again, you'll know that I didn't make it through that. So let's go over here to the pumpkins I planted. And let's go right over this way, Dustin. The first ones are over here. Show you what I've got. I did some experiments using different types of soil and medium to seed these in. Now, this right here is my baby boo pumpkin seeds that I bought. I bought 20 seeds, And well, actually there was about 24 come in that pack, and I used different medium. This material here, or this soil here, is Miracle Grow potting soil with perlite and peat moss. This is 100% peat moss, and I've got some that's 100% compost, and it didn't really matter on the seeding, I don't think. This row here, you can see every one of these 10 seeded. Compared to this over here, very few of these came out. And so we're looking at two different companies of seeds here. This company, this is pink pumpkins, and this come from a company called ZZ Grains, and they're a small family-owned company that mainly specializes in bonsai trees from what I can find online. But I found their seeds, ordered them, and didn't pay a whole lot of attention until these seeds here started not to produce the same. Now, out of 24 seeds, I got 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Out of 24 seeds, 14 of them sprouted. From CZ, I got 10 seeds. All 10 seeds sprouted. I have some more over here we're going to look at in a minute. And now here's the other pumpkin. This is a mini jack. Same company on the other one over here that didn't sprout very well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually even less on that. Now what causes that? Well, sometimes the seeds are old. They got hot or too cold, or different things can happen to them where they just get aged out. These seeds here, when they come in from CZ Grains, was nice. I wish I got some pictures of those and I didn't. Nice, beautiful seeds. These other seeds, some of them were indented a little bit and had some dimples. You could tell they wasn't as full and fresh looking. They looked a little dried up. Now, I did buy a mixed pack of pumpkins and squash, and they're planted right over here. And this also come from CZ Grains. And look, and these were planted 4 days after those over there were, and they have been getting full sun out here. There we got some burn spots on some of the leaves, and I think that's from the heat reflecting off the black, because I don't see them same burn spots on these plants here. They've been fertilized and watered the same, so it lets me know that setting them up against that black over there is probably getting those little fresh leaves a little bit hot. But I got 2 packs from them, one a mixed miniature pumpkin seed set, which would be the first 20 here, and then a mixed pumpkin and squash set. For some reason, I think I only ended up with 36 seeds. I should have had 40, or maybe I left a few in the pack, because these 4 I know I did not plant. I left them open. But out of all of these right here, the 36 I planted, there was only 1 right here. And, oh no, there it is. Look at that. There it comes. He's a little slow. So, wow, that's amazing. 36 seeds planted, 36 seeds come up, 2 thumbs up. And this is not a paid advertisement. I've never talked to CZ Grains before, but when I find a company that has an exceptional product like this, I want to let you all know about it. They don't specialize, I don't think, in pumpkins. They got a lot of bonsai trees, which is cool. We might have to talk to them about that, because we like stuff like that too. But the soil that I'm using is evergreen, and I bought it because it's $3 a bag. It was the cheapest soil that I could purchase. So can I grow anything in the cheapest soil that you can buy? I think I can. We'll find out. Then we also have the evergreen compost and manure, and we did use this in the back yard where we're going to right now. We're going to go to the back, and I'm going to show you what I have already done on one single row, and I'm going to tell you why I changed this one. So let's go to the back. All right, guys, the footage you see right there was filmed a few months ago. I'll have Dustin put the exact date down there when that was filmed. And you can see I rolled out the landscaping fabric over top of mounds of soil. I do believe we might have used stay green soil back here. And then you can see these plants as I'm planting them in that first video I made on whether this would work or not. So now you're ready to see what it looks like now? Here we go, guys. It's actually worked really well. We have some cantaloupes right here that's growing and doing very well. Them's going to be good. cantaloupes, I hope. We've got some cucumbers here that's coming to the end of their life cycle. Thank God I've had so many cucumbers this year. I'll be glad when these are done. I've always trying to look under here. They get by you, you don't see them. Here is, look at this one, guys. Look at this little mini pumpkin here. Now this one's going to mature very early. I planted these early in the year, not knowing when to plant them. Originally, I thought you'd plant everything in May. Not necessarily, because your pumpkins would be done way ahead of that schedule. But I'm glad I did plant these because I liked them so much. I said, okay, we're going to do some more. Now we can see right here we've got another gourd of some kind. You see these gourds in here? They're getting a little longer. They're coming out in the yard. So what we did was we mowed real good and we put down some straw, and this has kept down the weeds pretty good. And we're going to talk about this mound and why I don't like it. Let me just show you a reason why I don't like this mound here. Okay, so this is an acorn hybrid squash. You would not eat this from what I can find out. But right here, when I cut the holes in these, the holes are so small, it's impossible to get the water in there, okay? Especially when they start vining and you don't know where they came up at. Getting the water back into that hole that I cut in that fabric is hard. Plus there's a mound here. Any water that comes from uphill is going to go in, but not easily. It'll soak more into the ground back there. So, and it's not wide enough for pumpkins. Here's another pumpkin we planted earlier. There's a couple, 2 or 3 pumpkins in here, and these are really cool looking pumpkins. I really think they're neat. I don't know how big they'll get, but ain't them awesome? And we can tell they're coming to the end of their life cycle because the leaves are starting to die out in here and starting to fade out. So I actually could replant something in here. I don't know that I will, kind of doubt it. But I can tell this one right here's, the leaves are going down on it. They're wilting, and I don't think that's from water at all. I think it's just getting to the end of its life cycle, possibly. Let me know in the comments what you think, because they mature in 90 to 100 days. They've been past that 90 to 100 days, way past that. So, all right, let's look right down here at one more thing, then we're going to go back to the front. Right down here, we have some more of this. Now, this is a bush style, squash. They make vining squash, bush squash, and then there's also on the gourds. Most of them are vining, and that's what I want on my trellises, but I had so much problem with some of these squashes not being vining. They was bush squash. And they're not the prettiest ones either. So we pulled some of those plants up and put something else in. Here's some more pumpkins here. And I just think those are cute. I'm not going to do any big pumpkins because they're big and heavy. And then you got to do something with them. These little pumpkins will be easy. Should have 600-700 of these miniature pumpkins. And then you cannot even see the landscaping fabric here. But it's here and it's covered. And Angel's over seeing her buddies at the fence. We'll go over and check them out in just a second. They'll be there for a minute. They're catching up. They've not seen each other since last night. But the landscaping fabric, when it rains, the water rolls off of it here. And I'll explain that more to you in the front. The reason I did it a different way is because the landscaping's on a mound of dirt. The water kind of runs off, and only what hits in the original hole that I burned into the landscaping fabric is getting water. So when we come up here to water, and I want to look at this, I don't know where the original stem came out at. Look here, guys. Look at these watermelons right here. Ain't they pretty? They're hiding over here, staying nice and cool. And got another one of its brothers or sisters down here, nice one. But the straw, one problem is the landscaping fabric rolls the water off instead of letting it go in, and then it also is hot. It will burn the leaves. So on this you cannot see it because we put straw underneath here and picked the leaves up, put the straw down, and we also did that so that these vines, which watermelons don't root from their vines, but the pumpkins do. So next year we'll probably do a few more watermelons. Here's some over here. Check these out, guys. That's a pretty one. And I think there's some more in here, Dustin. Dustin knows where they're at better than I do. Check that one out, ain't that beautiful? You know, I love eating fruit, but I just love the beauty of seeing it. They're just ornamental to me, just seeing how beautiful some of the peppers are and different things. Well, it seems like we had some more round ones in here somewhere over this way. They're over here, I think. Well, anyways, we could look for pumpkins all day long, and I got a lot of soil to put out. So we're getting ready to, I'm gonna go just set up the tripod and turn the camera on, and we're gonna do that in fast motion, putting the soil out, and if you see ambulances show up, you know what happened. Let's go up here and look at Angel for just a second. She's made friends with the cows for some reason. They think that she's just the greatest thing in the world. What do you think, Angel? Okay guys, it's mounting up a lot higher than I expected, but this version of what we were doing in the backyard is different in the fact that I can water anywhere on this side of the mound, and the water is going to go underneath down low and bring those roots down deep. Instead of having to water from up here, the way this is laid out different is the water is going to go under it. The backyard, the landscaping fabric comes over it, all the water runs off. But here on these, I can make me some mounds every 5 foot. Once I get these dumped, we'll make some mounds like this right here and plant some pumpkins here in a minute. Guys, I was just out here looking. I've not had much luck on the tomatoes as of yet, turning red, and some of the plants, I don't want to break that completely off. I don't know that it's quite ready yet, but I want to get it out there and let it set. But I think that's close enough. What do you all think? Is that close enough to harvest it? Look at that. I'm not for sure which one this is. Some kind of beefsteak, big tomato. Leave in the comments if you know what that might be. All right guys, it's the next morning, and we did a little bit after this. After the soil was put down, it had to kind of be raked out and smoothed out, and we did that last night. I made me a trench through here, and I'm going to put some fertilizer in before I plant anything, but we're going to talk about the fertilizer. One of the most important things so far that I have learned from gardening is there's 3 different types of fertilizer, the NPK. And when you're first planting something, you know, you need something that's high in nitrogen. But as soon as it starts fruiting, you don't want it to keep making green leaves, you want it to make fruit. So then you change that to phosphorus. Come over here, Dustin, I'll show them what we're going to put in this morning with everything. I've used the organic garden tone, and there's another one in there. Espoma since 1929. I think there's a 25-pound bags. I'm not for sure exactly the price on them. I'll try to put a link in the bottom for these. This is what I use, and they do have smaller bags. The chicken manure is the only time that I'll use this. Is this time planting these starter plants, and then I'll bury this down deep a little bit. It does take a little while for this to break down. It ain't like it's just pure raw chicken manure when you put it in there. But after that, I'll never add no more nitrogen like this or this type of product. It'll mainly be garden tone. What goes in today will be good for a month. In 30 days, I'll go around and add some more garden tone around the roots. Try to mix it into the soil at that time. But this takes 2 weeks to start breaking down, either one of these two. So after I plant them, once I get them planted, I will give them some liquid nitrogen, a NPK of like the nitrogen is 24. That's what I've been using on the plants when they're young. And just learning, that's two of the most important things, to understand there's two different types of fertilizer. And I did a video on that called bone meal versus blood meal, the difference of them and how you use them. But that really helps, because if you keep using nitrogen all year, you're not going to have fruit. And if you start out feeding it all phosphorus at the first, it's not going to have any leaves. It's going to be short and dwarf. So anyways, this has been an amazing journey, and I'm glad you're coming along with us, learning these things and learning this fertilizer. So I'm going to put this in my cart. I love my little cart over here, and I need another 5-gallon bucket, but I pour the garden tone down in this bucket here, and that way I can just roll my little cart. I love my carts. They are absolutely amazing. You know, I'm not a big farm. I'm in a subdivision. So a lot of people, there's farms around me and stuff, but I'm just in a subdivision. So I decided to do right here in front of this garden and all the way down the middle of it to add some sunflowers and maybe some odd and end other seeds. I had them laying in there, so why not? Why don't we go ahead and plant them? So on the front of this garden over here, my first one, I got flowers. And I want to do that here too. I'm going to put sunflowers though. And yeah, sunflowers might have needed to been planted a little bit earlier, but hey, I've done a lot this year, so next year things will get done a little bit more on time. First year setting all this up, it took a minute. So I'm going to add some soil here. I do have compost and manure right here. And you know, I've talked about this already. Most people say, put down your soil and then put your compost down. I do that if you can't, if you're just amending one of the raised beds or you're putting it on something. But since have the ability to put the soil down first, this is a new project. The reason I put the compost down is because I want those roots to grow downwards towards that compost that has some natural organic stuff in there, the microorganisms that break everything down. That gives it some alive agent. So I need a little bit more soil on both sides. So this will be something that's kind of a little flower garden in front, a pollinator tractor. And then at the very end of this run here, this 145 foot is our compost pile. And we're gonna hopefully get one of those mulchers that mulch your stuff up, ain't we, Dustin? Yeah. One of those, they're about $500 to $600 a good one. And that way we can take all these vines and that we're gonna be pulling out of here. And I've already started pulling out tomato plants because they've already, no, I'm sorry, not tomato plants, cucumbers, or, you know, at the end of about 90 days, they start turning yellow and start their end of life cycle. So I am going to replant some different cucumbers on an upcoming video, and I'm going to put some trellises in down at the greenhouse for them to grow on down there. Not going to put no more cucumbers in here in the walk-through trellis because it's going to be full of pumpkins and gourds. So, all right, so I've got that laid out. Let me find my rake. All right, guys, I'm just going to rake this out down through here. And I didn't use landscaping staples on this. I used these blocks to hold it down there. Soil itself has the middle part definitely held down very well, but the edges need to be held down. And the reason I don't want to put the landscaping staples in there is because I'm going to be able to roll this back, fold it up at the end of this season of the pumpkins. I'm going to roll it, then stack the bricks on it. Then next spring I can roll it back out. If I just leave it in the yard, the sun and weather's going to deteriorate it. So by rolling it up, I think I'll be able to use it for quite a few years. Okay, so let's see what we got here to sow out here on the end. I've got some sunflowers I'm going to put right out through here. And now this is not real deep, and there's not no, I'm going to go ahead and get a cup of this garden tone, and I'm just going to pour it in all the way across through here for these sunflowers. Okay, now the chicken manure, and I don't need quite as much chicken manure. I'm going to cut that to about a half a cup across through here. Now I know I'm going to put seeds in here, and they're going to be seedlings planted in here, and but this, what I put in here, will not hurt, should not hurt the seedlings. Anyways, this is a test. I'm learning this year, my very first year, what do I like to do, what's something I can do. You know, every place has a different ability of growing, humidity, climate, rain. All of that makes a factor of where you live at. Tennessee is probably not the best place because we do get so hot in the summer. But okay, so I just got some of that mixed in there. And let me see what kind of seeds we got. I think I got them over here. Okay, these seeds have already been planted, and that's the ones that come from CZ Grains. And I got three different things from them actually. You can see here they kind of print their own labels, let you know they're just a small family-owned operation. They're not a big corporation. So, bright and colorful pumpkin patch. Gonna have pink, black, blue, orange, white. 4 seeds of each. So, got that, and then we also got these that's gonna go in there. This is a fall mix, and so you never know. It's like Christmas, opening up a surprise, what it is. Mini pumpkins and squash. It says orange, red, pink, and green. So we're gonna kind of mix some of the squash in with the pumpkins, and I'm gonna put them out and plant them by how big they are, how well they've grown. The biggest ones first, pretty much down through here. And I'm gonna put some of these seeds back in here. But what I'm gonna do right now is, I've got some sunflower seeds here, and I'm just gonna sow them across the front right here. And I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on them. I've already planted some of these sunflower seeds down there in the back, so I have to go with another one. I can't remember ever for sure growing any sunflower seeds, but I'm not going to plant each one of these seeds. I'm just going to kind of throw and sow. I'm going to throw them down and mix them up in the soil a little bit, and then pull a little bit more soil over top of that. So what I'm wanting to do is make a nice opening. I want this garden to be aesthetically looking nice. I don't want it to, you know, look like a mess. So I'm going to put some of these out here, and I'm going to go about 3 inches back. And I've got all of these different seeds mixed here, and I'm going to go across through here, and it might be a little crowded, and then some of these might not even come up. We don't know. So now at this point, I'm going to mix them like this with this little hand rake, and then I kind of pull some soil over top of them, and then I'm going to throw a little bit of soil over here like this on top of that. So yeah, it's getting hot out here today. Most people ain't out here in July. It's July 9th. We started this video yesterday. We're going into the next day here, and so my seedlings that we're going to be planting, going over here to plant. Look at there, I got a spider. I'm let him hide. Dustin don't like those spiders, Dustin, do you?
No, absolutely not. They can go in.
Okay, so I'm covering those up. Now, I've got those. Now, let's go over to where I have these squash and pumpkins planted. I did already plant a bunch of them in the trellises. We're not going to look at those right now, but I do have some planted in here. And these cuprits seem to last. They're not like indeterminate tomatoes that will continue to grow until frost kills them. These have a life cycle, I'm learning, and after 30 days they're going to die down and quit producing, and you can tell the leaves of these little gourds are not bright and green no more. They're dying. So same thing happened right down here on the mini boo pumpkin, and so I'm not for sure how well these will hold just leaving them out here. I think they're beautiful, and I'd like to just leave them out here. I've got a limb right there that's not doing good from the cantaloupe. We moved it up and it didn't take to it, but if I can leave these in here, just leave them hanging for now without them going bad until late fall, which is still 3 months away. I'm just going to leave them up here until I see that they're starting to go bad. But this plant here produced 20 of these mini pumpkins. We took 4 of them already off. Average is 6 to 12. And it says sometimes some people get as many as up to 15, rarely, but we got 20 on this, and I fertilized these just like what I'm showing you, except I did not put the chicken manure in there. All right, let's go right on over here. Let's pick us out some plants. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the biggest and healthiest ones, and I'm going to put them in my little cart here to take them, and that's the ones that'll be up front. And I mixed these up a little bit. I'm going to make a total of 28. These are one of them has squash and pumpkin, so we really don't know how much squash we'll get. That's going to be a surprise. But next year, I'll deliberately plant so what I call heirloom straight breeded seeds. It's not a hybrid or something that, or a mixed pack of things. This year's kind of been fun, not knowing what you're going to get. But next year, in order to get the things to vine right, I didn't know where have I got a vining gourd plant or a miniature gourd plant, or is it a bush plant? And they do bush or vine. Most of them are vining, but you know, I planted some that were bush type and that didn't climb. So that's just part of learning about the gourds. So anyways, we got some nice looking ones here, and these are the gourds over in this section. So I'm just going to mix these up. It's just going to be a surprise. We don't know if we'll have a pink pumpkin or a gourd, or for sure what we'll have, but it's always fun planting stuff. If y'all want to go down there in the comments, tell me where you're from. Where do you live at? What state, what area there? And do y'all grow pumpkins? And let me know how you do it. All right, guys, I'm using this rake to get these 5 foot apart. And I'm trying not to step on the soil here. We want to keep, definitely don't walk in the middle of it. We want to keep this soil uncompacted. That way the roots don't have to fight. So I'm going to use each one of these places here. And most of the time people plant pumpkins are going to put 3 to 4 seeds in a hill to make sure they get one up. I think 3 to 4 pumpkins in one hill is a lot. From my experience of what I'm growing in the back. I do have one back there that's got about 3 in it, I believe. And just depends. You could, I'm wanting to thin these out to this point so that I know what each pumpkin will do without being crowded out. So we're gonna have some squashes and some pumpkins, and we don't really know. So make sure to go hit that subscribe button. It tells me that most of the people that watch the videos are not subscribers, and it helps the channel by just hitting subscribe. It's free, it don't cost anything. This is a long project for us. Usually what I'm going to try to do is plant this row right here and get it out with the planet. We're going to go to the planting of them here in a minute. and do this first half. I don't know how many I've got here, but I've got about enough to get halfway down in there. So this one, he's ready to be transplanted. See the roots in the bottom? He's ready to go. And so we'll come back and I'll have to make a hole right here for this. All right, they're all, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's gonna hold 28, so I didn't get halfway. All right, I put a few of these sunflower seeds in there, but I planted some down at the bottom. I've got a whole mix of different stuff here that was just old seeds. They were free. They didn't cost anything. They come from Red's General Store. I think he probably got them in an Amazon returns thing. It was a retail display. Oh, no. Them one over there. I'll pull them over. Hopefully they'll be good. So that is going to get planted pretty high up. I'm going to push this soil in there. I've got the Asoma garden tone right there, and you might not have an auger like this. This is our second one. We broke the last two. We've got some really hard ground, but what I like to do on a project like this is get down into that native soil. Now, this is a no-till project, but we do drill. I do that to break that top layer and be able to put in, I'm gonna put in a whole cup of the garden tone, and then I'm gonna put in a half a cup of the chicken manure with it. And now I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna go back in here. And I've kind of mixed it all up in there. Now, everybody does things a little different. This leaves a little bit up here on the top. Now, it takes 2 weeks for this to even start working, but that's what we did from seed. Okay, so we're gonna go about that high right there. I'm gonna come around with these soil mounds, and some people take and compress inside and make a mound to hold the water, but I don't think I'm going to actually have to have that one on this one. So there's a big chunk piece of wood that tells us that's a tree, that's organic material come out of that. That's good. That is not pallets. A lot of times they take waste, and so that fast. Okay guys, just plant it. Now once I get them all planted, there's 25 of them, Dustin, I counted them. I'm gonna do this the next one, drill, 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 25 times, and plant all of these, and then I'm gonna put down straw. After I get these put in, I'll be back. Woo, that one's hard. Love my little carts. I didn't use the chicken manure on the back. That's new. My hope is, you know, it'll want to go towards that granule fertilized, and that'll be good for about a month. And then we'll need to do that again. And it'll be easier this time because in the back where I had the fiber, the landscaping fabric down, I couldn't get in there. The hole, it grew out of the holes fine, but it didn't give you any room to get back in there or to water them, so that was a problem. All right, so I said I'd be right back, but Dustin kept recording, so it's okay. Let me grab the rake because I've got stuff. I don't want to plant anything else in there. No, probably not. So this first. Now, at all possibilities, we do not want to walk on this soil. We want to keep it nice and loose, so do that up here. Okay, so right now I'm putting down the garden tone fertilizer, and I've also planted in the middle a lot of different just cheap seeds I bought. Some of them are old seeds, some that was given to me. I don't know what'll come up, but I don't think that hole's been drilled yet. I don't know. That's as far as I can go with drilling these holes. Still have that many holes left. Dustin's helping me with that. And now I'm gonna do the same thing down through here and put the chicken manure in there too next. So I'm gonna go get that and start on it. All right, guys, it's been exactly 1 week since that last clip that just played. I waited to let these get going a little bit, and I wanted to show them to you once they got a little bit of time on them. They've got about a week on them. They've been planted a week, and down through the middle of each one of them, I planted sunflower seeds and a whole variety of different types of flowers and stuff that'll come up, hopefully. They're already starting to sprout. They started sprouting in 3 to 4 days, and the whole project here has been a no-till pumpkin patch, and I wanted to talk to you some more about a few things here in the past week that I come to realize that I didn't know in the beginning of the video, and I learned this in the last little bit by watching some more videos. Is when I ordered these seeds, I was looking for miniature pumpkin seeds. And your main miniature pumpkin seeds, I find out now, are the white boos, or they call them casperitas, and your Jack B. Littles. And they're about 3 inches around. And I was searching to buy more of them on Amazon, like I do, and I come across this porcelain doll pumpkin that popped up there. And then there was this fall mix mini pumpkin and mini squash. And then there was a bright and colorful, you saw these earlier in the video, I talked about them earlier. The problem is because I searched mini, I thought they were all mini. No, they're not all mini pumpkins, but that's all right. We like big pumpkins too, but the problem is I went ahead and planted them on my trellis. So like the pink porcelain, the porcelain doll, that one gets up to 24 pounds. And yeah, that's going to be quite the, if you've not subscribed to the channel by yet, you need to now, because that's going to be something, seeing a 24-pound pumpkin. I could pull them up and replant them, but I don't know which ones they are. I mixed them all together, and it's all right though. But come on over, let me show you my trellises, and show you what's going to go on here. All right, guys, I have these 16-foot cantle panel, and if you watch some of the very first episodes we put out, we showed putting these up. These were an afterthought. This project grew and grew. It's supposed to have been 3 raised beds. I have 9 raised beds, plus some smaller raised beds, but it just grew and grew because I loved it so much. Love growing things. But these archway are going to have pumpkins growing all the way down through it. I thought they were going to all be mini pumpkins, but one of the things, being this my first time year, that I've learned really a lesson is wanting to do this with these little gourds you see. These gourds I planted probably in May, and they come to the end of their life cycle, or squash vine borer bugs got them. And we're going to talk about the squash vine borer bugs too, because they love pumpkins and cucumbers, and I didn't pay attention. I knew about them, but I didn't realize that I had them so bad. So we'll talk about that for a few minutes. But these are miniature gourds, and you have your miniature vining gourds, and in pumpkins you have bush pumpkins and vining pumpkins, and squash the same way. So that's all things I'm learning, because see, I tried to trellis bush pumpkins or squash, bush squash, and they don't grow upwards, they just kind of bush out. So that was some things. Next year I'm not going to buy mixed seed packs, because when you buy a mixed mini gourd seed pack, when you plant them, until they get pretty good size, you don't know if they're going to climb or if they're just going to bush or what they're even going to be. So this coming year, I'll be buying individual seed packs for that particular miniature gourd, that particular pumpkin, or whatever I'm looking for, instead of a mixed bag of whatever. And I got some different things that I don't even want that that grew in the mixed gourd pack, and it was crazy. So we got some, they call them acorn squash, and half of them was acorn squash, and that's a bushing plant. If it vined, it would be okay. All right, let me show you some of the pumpkins real quick in here. We're going to close this video up here in a few minutes. I'm going to show you around back, but all down through here. And Dustin helped last night. Yesterday we were digging out the vine borer bugs. They were terrible, wasn't they, Dustin?
Oh yeah.
So look right here, look at all these bees down in this one right here. So all down through here is pumpkins, and you should plant pumpkins, and some of these are hopefully, or the mini pumpkins, they're not all. I've got them way too close, I know, but I'm gonna mainly run one vine. These things will do about 4 to 5 vines out that I've seen from what I've already been growing in the backyard and even growing up here. So any of the vines that come this way, I'm just gonna cut, so to put all of its energy up that way. So we're gonna have one main vine on these pumpkin plants. We can see right here, this looks like a Jack B. Little right here. See it coming in? So that will go all the way up in there. And I've got some vines you see right down here. These vines that's coming off of it, I will cut off and not let them take over the whole garden, and it'll put more energy in this vine. I hope. I don't know. This is my first year. So all down through here and down behind the peppers, if you get a shot right through here, Dustin, go right down through here. You can see all down through there. And next year I'll move the peppers closer to the edge to give just a little bit more room, but I'll have to trim all these lower leaves, because the powdery white mildew has been something that was terrible, especially with the cucumbers, and it also is going to get onto pumpkins, and it also, I don't know if it was, I guess it might have been the squash bugs that took these gourds down here, because, let's look right here, Dustin. We're just starting to notice, you look at them and you can't see, but it's up underneath. Yeah, fill up underneath there. See, they ate the whole vine out. See right there? That's what they do.
One, more than likely, it's still right here, and he's hollowing out.
All right, so Dustin made this little wire pick, and generally on some of them, we didn't film that yesterday. We should have got some footage of getting some of those bugs out. This one is probably still in there. See,
it's got that's their feces, I think you said, right? The way they break and decay that down.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at it. Here's where I going. I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, head straight down that.
The problem is it's bending on me now. We're gonna need a.
Need to make it.
There he is. Ain't that him? Nope.
No, but that's close, I think.
Gosh. I just want to show you what they do.
They absolutely destroy the vines.
Gosh, this is all stuff that it's chewed up.
Decay and nasty.
Yeah, he might have done left already. He might have already matured, but no, they were still little. I don't know. We got 6 or 8 of them out on a bunch of these, and it was still living. We broke the vine apart, showing you there what we were doing. But next year, as I was talking about before we got on the vine borer bug and the powdery mildew, that's been a terrible thing to learn about this year. But we're going to definitely got some stuff coming in to spray for these for the new pumpkins. So this was a good learning lesson on starting out with these and learning about the powdery white mildew, that when I see it, immediately it's got to be stopped. And then the vine borer bugs has got to be sprayed for, depending on what you want to spray with. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but there's several different sprays for those. BT or BTK is one that they use a lot of. So let's look at this back project, and we're going to close this up. We'll look right down through here at some of these pumpkins. I have no idea what's here. These are going to be a few miniature pumpkins mixed in here. And I can kind of see, I think this one's a miniature pumpkin, most likely, as small as you see it. And these are going to be full size, or 17, 20 pounds, somewhere in that area. Now, next year, my project would be, come first of next year, I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. Either maybe this way, come with another trellis where it comes up in this way. This way drops down a little bit too far on the left, too much of a slope to do the trellis. I could do the trellis on this side too. So I'm thinking about, let me know in the comments if you think I should make a 145-foot trellis next year with pumpkins and gourds. And I don't know what's growing next year. They'll all be miniature type stuff. So that's the fun about learning, the surprises that come along. So I'm going to show you 5 more I've got planted right down here at the greenhouse. I put some more cattle panel up, and I need to so these are pink porcelain, let's see, porcelain doll, pink porcelain doll, a couple. And then I got some Jack B. Little, and I think in the middle is a white, one of the, I call them baby boo, or the Casperitas people call them. And then this is the next project around back. Oh, this is what I love right here. I need Miracle Grow to give me a deal to sponsor some of their stuff, because this organic mulch, I absolutely love it. I started putting it around the pumpkins yesterday and didn't get it, but it's almost, it breaks down, and this is going to feed your plants as it breaks down into compost even more. So this is our compost pile down here, and these are some of those acorn squash I told you I didn't like. We put them down here in the compost pile and just kind of set them out. And if they live, they live. If they don't, they don't, because I don't like those. They're not a pumpkin, and they're not a gourd, and they're just not nothing I liked. But next year, no more mixed gourd, pumpkin or gourd seeds, because you really don't know what you're going to get. But right around here, here's what I've got left on the pumpkins that still have to be planted. Some of these I've been keeping for backups, because I learned with the vine borer bugs, one could go down that I need another one to replace it with. So I think I mainly got mostly mini stuff in here, and I've got 2 more pink porcelain doll ones, and then I'm going to put a whole set down through here. Now this is a lot more shade on this side, so it's going to be an experiment. Like the other side, I'll put 5 pumpkins through here, and this will be the north side, and gets in the morning, it gets a little sun in the evening, but we'll see how they grow back here. It's a good experiment to see if they grow in the shade good. And then next video coming up, we're not going to do it on this one because this one's got a little bit long, but make sure to hit subscribe button if you want to see us harvest our watermelons. We're not 100% sure if they're ready. This is looking like it right here from what I'm researching, because I've never harvested a watermelon. And we've got about 4 plants here, and 3 of them are different. And look at this one. This is beautiful right here. And we're going to harvest and cut these open. And then we got one over here, and they're mixed in here growing different places. We've got a couple big ones over there. Oh, there's another small one there, Dustin, I didn't see beside those 3, them 2 big ones. There's 3 in there now.
Well, there is a new one came up.
And I actually think next year there's a small one in here. Where's that little bitty ones that we saw? Oh, right here.
Now this is the only one of the round striped ones I've seen like that.
That
I love
almost
that
would
one.
grow on the trellis right there. If they don't, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
As far as I know, they do get a little bigger. They'll be about the size of the one on the end down there, probably.
So here's some pumpkins we grew early this year. They're still growing. Let me see here. We didn't check these.
No, we didn't, did we? Those all look hardened and solid.
Yeah, but I feel back here.
Right here, maybe. No. Yeah. There might be a soft spot there.
All right, here's another baby boo, Casperita, that's just been planted 3-4 weeks. I think we pulled a squash bug out of it yesterday. So I've got to spray. I sprayed a few times thinking that would take care of them. No. Here, look at these little, these would be pretty on my trellis next year. This is a mini pumpkin or gourd or squash. I don't really know. I know there's some people on here that can really get on here and talk and tell you everything about them. Now here's some of this powdery white mildew. See this right here? I've got stuff in that I'll spray this with. It comes from, we have had 2 weeks of rain. It's not hardly quit raining. Now this will be a video in itself when we harvest this one. This is a baby boo pumpkin. And as we can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 separate vines coming out. And pumpkins do root into the ground and they get nutrients. And I think we counted about 40 baby boo on here. So when this finally comes to the end of its life cycle and it dies, we're going to count and see how many on this one here that we actually got. So these vines do root. Watermelons don't do that, but these do root into the ground to get more nutrients. And then we have some type of gourds right here. These are miniature, and these would have looked good hanging down on the trellis, but they just come in a mixed pack. I didn't know. Next year, it'll be heirloom seeds that are miniatures most likely, that I know exactly what I'm planting. And then we're getting on the watermelon video that where we're going to harvest it, we'll harvest cantaloupe. And that might be today. We're going to do a little bit of checking and see somewhere in here. Get a good close up right here, Dustin. They say something about this little curly thing right past, okay, like this right here. See this? If that starts turning brown, maybe. Guys, I don't know. If you got any experience with cantaloupe, let me know. It looks a little green still right here, and then we got 2 down here. All right guys, it's the next morning now. I wanted to come back and just give you a few things that I've learned as a first-year gardener this year. One of them is it's squash vine borers. They are absolutely a terror in the garden, and I was not looking for those, and the more research I do on them, the more I find they're about impossible to kill out. Their eggs lay down on the bottom of the stump of the vine there, and they're tiny and they're just 1 egg. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done. You can even inject the vines with a syringe with BT, and we might end up doing that. You can surgically just remove those bugs, those larvae, and we did that some, and but it wiped out a bunch of my gourds and miniature pumpkins. So we're going to be on the lookout for that. So that's a good thing. My gourds and miniature pumpkins got planted early this year, but that was a good thing in the fact that I learned about these squash vine borers and a few other things, and the powdery white mildew. So we're going to see how this turns out on this trellis with pumpkins on it. They're all planted along through here, and some of them's way too big for this trellis, and yeah, we don't know exactly how that's going to turn out, but make sure to hit the subscribe button, and that way you can find out too. Guys, thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you on the next one.